Now I'll make another prediction. I predict that very soon Obama will create a crisis along the lines of the Reichstag fire. I don't know what form it will take, but I believe that once the minions are seen for what they are, Rahm Emanuel and his gang will set off a Reichstag fire in this country of some kind, and they will recall the military dictatorship of Lincoln and Stanton during the Civil War, when civilian suspects were arrested without warrant. I will tell you as I sit here, I fear that every night as I go to sleep.
All right.
I put nothing past these agitators.
So the idea of stage government terror is now being talked about on Savage, Limbaugh, everywhere. Hannity isn't doing it yet. We are forcing them to cover the real issues, and I commend it. There is no doubt that most of these bricks being thrown through and gunshots into a congressperson's office in Virginia are staged. They've caught the controlled left painting swastikas on churches and dormitory walls so many times I can't even count. This is the reality. And we have to get serious. We have to get focused. But 10 years ago, they could alternate Republican and Democratic power, and then the Republicans would promise to end the tyranny and then would continue it. And the Democrats would promise and get back in power and continue it. And it would take years for people to wake up each time and then vote for the other party. Now folks know that it's the incumbents, it's their voting records, it's system-wide, and people aren't mincing their words. And every time you talk about stage terror, every time you talk about New World Order, every time you talk about world government, every time you point out that we were right about man-made global warming being a premeditated fraud, they've now been caught red-handed. They know it's a fraud. They want to control your life. They want amnesty this year. They want open borders. They want to pass the carbon tax where they can selectively shut down any businesses they want. And the only way they're going to get this through is staging terror attacks to blame them on the Tea Party. And you see them in full mode right now, 100% pushing this idea and prepping everyone. And I've been predicting that in the month of April, late April, because I know there's 5 big TV documentaries about Tea Parties being evil and violent being produced by major news networks and HBO to air in the middle and late April. And they're producing them because their bosses have given them the word to have this ready then, because I believe they're going to stage really horrible events coming up in late April. Remember, I predicted 9/11 2 months before it happened. Just Google Alex Jones predicts 9/11, and you'll see millions of views on those videos. And a lot of Austinites saw me do that live. Syndicated radio audience, you heard me do show after show because I saw the preparation. I saw them prepping everyone and getting them ready. And to all of you yuppies out there making $100,000, $200,000 a year that think you're part of the power structure and don't think you should be politically involved or think everything's okay or, oh, it's not as bad as Alex Jones says, it's worse than I can explain to you. This is a scientific criminal takeover, and Obama is just the latest puppet, the latest front man. And so read the health care bill for yourself. Just look at it for yourself. Realize what this means. Realize that offshore banks have robbed us blind. Realize that at every level, government is getting exponentially more and more brazen, more and more criminal, more and more wild-eyed, because they are going for broke. They have passed the point of no return. They can't stop now. And so it's 2 speed trains, liberty and tyranny, going head up against each other. And everyone who loves liberty, everyone who hates tyranny, everyone who wants to live in a free country and doesn't want themselves and their children to go into bondage has to stand up now. We are here waging war on corruption. We are here crashing through the lies and disinformation 4 hours a day at Infowars.com and on the AM and FM dial. Tell all your friends and family about this radio show where they're going to get the full analysis of what's happening, and they're going to get the full spectrum of solutions and ideas, and where we're going to identify the enemies of freedom, the criminal parasites that have taken over our society. Great job, crew. Retransmission starts now on stations all over the country and Infowars.com and the podcast. And again, great job, crew. See you back tomorrow, 11 a.m. Central Live.